Hey everyone, Rivian is making reasonable progress in taking market share in the electric vehicle industry. So I wanted to provide an update on what's going on with Rivian stock. I'll go over its latest advancements in manufacturing technology to reduce costs. I'll look at their prospects over the next few quarters. I'll also discuss my buy recommendation for Rivian stock, as well as consumer response, consumer surveys on how they view Rivian as a brand. So let's get into it.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
All right, so Rivian is focused on continuing demand generation, delivering cost efficiency and plant improvements, and advancing its R2 development and driving towards profitability. So let's take those one at a time. They, of course, announced the next generation R2 platform, which promises lower costs, lower prices for consumers on their electric vehicles. You'll probably already know that Rivian sells very expensive electric vehicles. I believe the pickup truck starts at $70,000 and the SUV starts at $80,000. But looking at their website and the inventory, those that are available, many of the models are approaching $100,000. Now, that's an expensive price for any car, but especially for an electric vehicle that also adds inconvenience to the mix of a high price tag. You've got to spend hours charging your vehicle every month, where you can spend minutes putting gas in your car. So that can explain why Rivian is expecting pretty much zero growth in 2024. But they're working on longer term. That lower priced model hopefully will drive more consumer demand for its electric vehicles. Now, they said that they successfully navigated their plant retooling upgrade, and that's good news. So that's going to help the company lower costs, which will sustain it longer to get to its lower priced models, because at the current level, with current prices and current inventory, this business is not sustainable. It'll continue losing billions of dollars and eventually will go out of business because investors will stop giving Rivian money to lose. It needs to increase manufacturing, it needs to lower cost, and it needs to sell more vehicles in order to be sustainable. And that's the path it's heading towards. So it's in a race against time to get to that level before it runs out of money. So the company is saying that they recently transitioned to a new zonal network architecture, which reduced the number of electronic control units by approximately 60%, taking substantial costs out of the vehicles. So they've worked and worked to remove things, make the manufacturing more efficient and lower cost. And this is what you would expect from any manufacturing company. You want to see improvements, you want to see development along the learning curve. The more you manufacture, the more you stay in business, the more you learn from your mistakes, you learn from what works, and you make improvements. This is one area where Rivian is making improvements. And interestingly, an owner satisfaction survey conducted by Consumer Reports said that Rivian was the number one automotive brand with the highest likelihood for customers to purchase again. So that's good news that existing customers are happy with Rivian, and that makes it more likely that 5, 6, 7 years later, when they need a new vehicle, they'll consider Rivian again. And that means the replacement cycle will be good for Rivian longer term. Now, it needs to get to that level first. It needs to survive the longer term in order to benefit from this, but it is a good sign that consumers are seeing a good return on investment in their purchases of Rivian, and they should, right? At prices approaching 100,000, they should be happy with what they're buying. If there was anything less than happiness with the brand, I would be surprised if you're spending $100,000. So I highlighted that I would discuss my recommendation for Rivian stock, and I've had the stock rated as a hold or not a buy for a very long time now. I've told investors not to buy this stock because of those losses on the bottom line that I will discuss a little bit more about, the uncertain economic environment, and tepid consumer demand for electric vehicles, and then overall, the vehicle industry, whether it's electric vehicles or internal combustion engine vehicles, is not an attractive industry for investment. It requires high capital investments. It's highly cyclical and very competitive. And so I do not like the industry overall. And I like the electric vehicle industry even less than the internal combustion engine industry. And so I've had Rivian stock rated as not a buy, and I last updated this on May 8th. So moving on, Rivian in the first quarter was the fifth best-selling EV maker in the United States with a market share of 5.1%. And they will be flat this year, so it looks like they will lose market share in 2024 because they're not going to increase the number of production units, and others are going to increase production, including legacy automakers like Ford and GM, and some of the upstarts like Lucid and I don't know about Fisker. Fisker looks like it might be going out of business, but they've got thousands of models that they're trying to liquidate, and those are going to be much lower prices than what else is available in the market. I don't know if it'll draw demand, but overall, if you're going to deliver the same amount of vehicles this year as you did last year in an industry with increasing supply, you're going to lose market share, and that's likely to happen with Rivian in 2024. Now, the company recently launched leasing for the R1S and grew the number of states with this offering. Leasing offers customers a lower price for owning or using one of their vehicles. It may help on the margin for Rivian, but given that they're selling premium luxury priced vehicles, I don't know if this is going to have that much of a benefit. If it was lower priced models targeting lower income customers, this would be a bigger deal. But when you're dealing in close to the 100,000 price tag, it's, whether the person is buying or selling, I don't think on the margin it might help some, but overall I don't think it's going to have a big impact. So they unveiled their R2, which is a versatile new mid-sized SUV, and they expect the price tag to start at $45,000, and delivery is expected in the first half of 2026. That's going to be a big deal. That's going to be the driver for Rivian's growth over the next several years. That's going to be roughly half the price of their current SUVs, and it's going to enter that price category where Tesla has achieved significant success with its SUV that's priced around this range as well. So it's proven there's a market for electric vehicle SUVs in this price range. The downside is that Tesla is having its own lower priced model. It says could be by the end of this year or the start of next year. Now, I know Tesla's forecasts are not reliable, but the industry overall is moving towards lower prices. Still, if Rivian can come out with this model that is similar in quality in terms of customer recognition as its current models, then that could really drive demand for Rivian's products. And I wouldn't be surprised if this product causes Rivian's sales to double from their current level. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case because of the better entry price. It makes it more accessible to more consumers. So there you have it. Rivian's progress towards its goal of getting to that lower priced car so that it can approach larger markets. And then at that level, it might be self-sustaining. It might be able to at least break even and not lose billions of dollars on the bottom line every year. Did you know that over 90% of the people that watch my channel are not subscribed? It'll really help support my channel if you hit that subscribe button. And oh, by the way, one of the benefits of being subscribed is that I take requests from subscribers more often than I do from non-subscribers. So if you prefer that benefit, please subscribe to the channel.